Hey guys, what is going on? Profitably is here, founder of Bitcoin's Walls Club, and welcome to another episode of Today in Crypto Show. I really like to discuss today what I'm seeing right now in the charts, which is phenomenal. Bitcoin is breaking the 200 days moving averages right now. This is a critical point, and I believe we are heading towards greater gains for Bitcoin right now. Today was an absolutely phenomenal day for Bitcoin and about 5% gain so far, and we are seeing it go up as we speak right now. So what we are seeing right now in the charts, we had this fall after Bitcoin has reached in this amazing move in the last, in these 5 months. Bitcoin reached from the bottom of 3,000. It reached the peak of about $14,000, and then it formed what can be considered as a big giant bull flag right here, and what we are seeing as a pattern was a descending triangle right here that eventually broke down at this day on the 22nd of September and actually started trading below the 200 days moving averages, which a lot of people were saying, this is not good. This is a bear sign that we're heading back to the bear market, and many traders had some conflicting views. Some people were saying, hey, this is a bear flag and we are going down, and others said it reminds me of a falling wedge and this is a pattern for the bull. So what we are seeing right now, and this RSI never fails to to really be very accurate. We were trading for over a week at an oversold condition for the RSI. The 30 is an oversold. We were trading below the 30 level right here, and it usually tends to the upside when we are trading. This is on a daily, and this is exactly what happened. So if you take a look at this day right here, we had closed the day in absolutely what is called an engulfing candle over here. When Bitcoin fell down on the 6th of October, on the next day, it have risen and overtook the entire fall of the previous day and even more some. This is a very bullish sign. On the next day, the price has actually not moved very much, and this right here was a very bullish sign, and this is exactly what we are seeing right now. And we actually crossed this line, the 200 days moving averages, this yellow line that you can see right here. So this is very bullish, and I believe that we are heading towards greater gains right now. And although we'll have some resistance probably at some point in this area, let me draw it down for you right now. Over this area right here, we're going to have some resistance, I believe, but because we are breaking above currently the 200 days moving averages, Bitcoin has much more fuel to go. And I think that a big reason for that is the big announcements with Binance today. That Binance now accepting Fiat through AliPay and WeChat. Now this is huge news. Binance is, as you know, the largest cryptocurrency exchange today in the world, and the AliPay and WeChat is huge. Audience of 1.1 billion is currently using just WeChat, right? And payment application AliPay has over 900 million users, right? So we're talking about 1.1 billion on WeChat and 900 million users on AliPay that now are able to send fiat, send their money to Binance in order to trade there. Now, as you can think, people are sending money on Binance, their fiat. What they're doing with their fiat, they are buying Bitcoin, right? That's what they're doing. They're buying Bitcoin primarily. Okay, so that is big news. Is more liquidity, more money is flowing into fiat dollars are flowing into the exchanges, and they are lifting up and buying up Binance. Okay, so that's one thing that I wanted to point out here. with the big news that are happening today, and it might be a big contributor towards the price action that we are seeing right now. So I'm very, very happy. Today, big days, not just for Bitcoin. The entire altcoin market is gaining. We have Ethereum at 6%, Bitcoin Cash 3.6%, Litecoin 3.8%. If we take a look at the entire market cap, is right now standing on $230 billion. We are definitely $232 billion. If we zoom into the 7 days, we are on the uptrend. As you can see right now, we gain about $10 billion overall on the cryptocurrency overall entire market. Now, if we take a look, guys, right here on the entire crypto market, excluding Bitcoin, which is the altcoin total market cap, we are, I believe, at a critical point right now. Let me show you this real quick. On the trading view, if we take a look at a crypto market, crypto total market cap exclude Bitcoin, what we are seeing is an interesting pattern. Okay, we have been rising right there on in the end of June, 25th of June. We have reached a total of $133 billion of the total altcoin market. Then we crashed and crashed and crashed, and now we are rising up. Now, because there was, some people were saying a head and shoulders pattern that they were seeing over here, which is now negating with this recent move in the last couple days. We are rising and rising. It's actually negating the head and shoulders pattern that we could have seen right there, just like this. The left shoulder, the head, and the right shoulder right here. Okay, so we either going to go down significantly on the altcoin market, or we're going to rise from here in a very, very big way. Okay, and overcome and reach those points, and even maybe go above the point in time we were in June. Okay, so time will tell, guys. It's very interesting times right now in Bitcoin. So we're going to be looking very, very closely to what is happening with Bitcoin. Is it going to stay above the 200 days moving averages that we just surpassed it right now? And just like in 2016, we saw a similar pattern where Bitcoin was on the way up, and then it crossed below the 200 days moving averages for a certain period of time, and then afterwards it broke up again and continued to rise until the end of 2017. I believe we're going to be seeing a similar pattern leading in the next year. As you know, in May 2020, we're going to have a very, very bullish event with Bitcoin halving. Okay, and it's going to take us, I believe, way further than we are seeing right now, as the supply of Bitcoin is getting half the supply. So this is something to really look forward to, and not just at the day of May 2020 when the halving event is going to occur. If you're actually going to go to Bitcoin halving, to this website, it's going to show you the actual countdown towards the event, which is just like 8 months from now, right? Bitcoin block reward halving countdown, about 217 days, on the 14th of May 2020. It's every 4 years this happens. So this will have a significant impact on Bitcoin and the rest of the altcoins market. So something to note. What else we are seeing? Bitcoin has been so far the best performing asset. Okay, even though we had some pullbacks. As overall in 2019, Bitcoin is the best performing asset, far outpacing the 31% return for US tech stocks, and other types of investors, for the big investors. And what it actually says to big investors, to big company, that they are actually in a lot of big corporations that are actually going into the sector. So for example, there will be a big event happening in December by the Pantera Capital Group. As you know, Pantera Capital is one of the biggest investment hedge fund companies out there. So they scheduled an event in San Francisco, and a lot of people, they received, like, contacted the firm requesting invites. So they don't want to miss out. The big money, big corporations, the big companies, they don't want to miss out on the big move that we are going to see in Bitcoin. So all of that capital that is flowing out there in the stocks, in the forex market, it's looking its way into Bitcoin. And the hedge fund managers and the pension funds, all of these big guys, they fail to outperform what Bitcoin can actually do for them. So it's very, very good for them, I think, to diversify into Bitcoin. They realize it themselves, because Bitcoin as a store of value is phenomenal. And even though it is still an experiment, what people are consider Bitcoin a 10-year experiment, we're still going to see some interesting things. Here is another cool things that you need to know is the US government in the beginning, in 2012, tried to shut down Bitcoin, but they couldn't make it. Of course, they couldn't shut down Bitcoin. And they're realizing now, the US lawmakers are realizing now that they can actually they cannot ban Bitcoin, no matter how much they want it. If they want it, this task is absolutely impossible to do. It's like shutting down the internet. We could that's what he said. I'm pretty confident we couldn't succeed in doing that because this is a global innovation, right? Bitcoin is a global innovation, and they just cannot shut it down. So this is pretty we all feel very, very safe that Bitcoin is going to succeed, and it's going to succeed in a big way. There has been, more than anything, the talks about the Bitcoin, if it's going to succeed or not, is really not about the 51% attack, but some code, something that maybe can happen, like one way that Bitcoin can fail. The Bitcoin developers are saying not a 51% attack, but the social attack. Now, what it means, a social attack, is when people are actually coordinating among themselves. Just give me 1 second. The website right here not responding. I have a lot of resources on this computer running right now. Just give me 1 second, guys. There you go. The social attack. Okay. So what it means, the social attack, and the other one is introducing a new bug. Okay. So the social attack, I think people obsess far too much about 51% attack. If you're worried that someone might reward their history using a high hash power collusion, just wait longer before you consider your transaction final. A far bigger risk to Bitcoin is that the public using it will not understand, will not care, and won't protect the decentralization properties, making it more centralized. Okay, that's one thing that they are afraid, is making Bitcoin more centralized. So they're working towards making sure the aspect of building chips, the building infrastructure, the miners that support the Bitcoin network to be decentralized. And the other one is introducing a new bug. So if there will be some sort of a bug that will affect the entire system, that might be a real a real issue, a real challenge. So they want to make sure, the Bitcoin developers, that those things will not happen. So for that reason, even though we want to see Bitcoin to go as high as possible, there are still some inherent challenges that can go with Bitcoin, okay, as it grows, and becomes bigger and bigger. So you always want to, not put everything into one basket. You want to diversify, and you want to make sure that you are keeping your investment strategy in a way that you are not too over leveraged. Okay, so that's what I wanted to share with you guys. In the short term, I believe Bitcoin has more steam to go, as it usually happens right here when we are falling like this in a big way. What follows up, it also rises in a similar big fashion, just like we had in November when we were falling down in such a big way. There was an equally high rises that we have been seeing subsequently in Bitcoin, that way overpassed those fall downs that we have seen before. Okay, so everybody have a blessed day. Let's see where Bitcoin is going to be headed in the short term, and I'll see you soon, guys.